Hello everyone and welcome once again to a completely new tutorial. This time I'm going to be talking about a little issue I faced no longer than a week ago when I was working on some architectural visualization projects. And well, the problem was that although I found some really nice furniture models over the internet, I wasn't able to find any curtain models, or at least any curtain model that was comfortable with. So I had to look for a solution, and this is what I'm going to show you. Okay, so before we actually start to create our model, I just want you to understand what we're going to be doing. In order to model the curtains, we will need to create a cloth simulation using the classic cloth simulation system from Lightwave. We're not going to be touching the brand new sub-body dynamic system, and the reason for that is simply because I don't have much experience in it and I just don't want to show you something I don't really know. Okay, so let's begin. So let's go to the create tab, and we're going to be using the box tool. So just select your box tool and open up your numeric tab. We want to have a 2 meter width, a 2.5 meter height, and we don't want any depth because we are going to be using a flat surface or a flat polygon to perform the simulation. Now, in order to perform such simulation, we need to add some subdivisions. So let's add 30 subdivisions in the x-axis and 40 subdivisions in the y-axis. Now, eventually, you could add more subdivisions and your simulation will be more accurate, but it will certainly take a lot more time. So for the sake of the tutorial and of this example, I'm going to stick to these settings. You can add the settings you want. Now, whenever you are creating a cloth simulation, you need to add a point selection set that is going to be acting as a pole to your cloth. So in the case of the curtains, this pole is going to be located at the top. Just because of, curtains are always holding from the top. So let's create a new selection set. So let's go to selection set, and I'm going to select every other point. I know this doesn't look exciting, but you'll see how useful it is. So let's create a new selection set, and this is going to be called top points. And let's create it. Now, we need to make sure that this piece of cloth is going to be folding a little bit, so we match the classic look of the curtains. And in order to do that, we're going to add a morph to these top points. So whenever we are performing the simulation, we're going to apply such morph, and that is going to affect the simulation in a way that is going to create the folds for our curtains. And I know this sounds a little bit confusing at the moment, but just follow the steps and trust me. So let's go to the morph tab and let's create a new one. Let's call this one folding. And what we're going to do in the folding morph is to select all the points on the top, and we're going to shrink them to one of the sides. So I think this is fine. So if we check our base, it's alright, and if we check our folding morph, it's perfect. So let's save this object, and I'm going to send it to layout, and I'll see you there. Okay, so we are in layout, and I just realized we made a little mistake. And we're going to correct it right now. So let's go back to modeler, and the only thing we need to do is to press our tab key so we have our subdivisions active, and you make sure that it's active by looking at your corners, and if they're rounded, it's because the subpatch is active. And just to feel a little bit comfortable, we just flip the polygons and let's synchronize layout. So perfect. Now we have it. Okay, so with our object selected, just press P to get the object properties. Now let's go to the effects panel and let's select cloth. Now let's double click on the cloth effects option, and let's check this first panel. We're going to go here to fix, and we're going to select the top point set we created before in the modeler. The next thing we'll have to do is to go to the collision tab and enable all collisions, and let's enable all self collisions. Let's go to the etc. Tab, and let's select a thick option, and let's add some gravity to it. So -5 will be fine, and I'm going to hit the calculate button over here, and I'll come back as soon as the simulation is completed. Okay, so our simulation is done. Let's check it up, and we can see here that our selection set is properly set, and despite the fact that we were actually able to simulate the cloth, we're not getting that folding feel from the curtains. And in order to fix that, we will have to use the morphs we created in the modeler. So let's do that. So once again, let's open our object properties panel, and let's go to the deform tab, and let's look for the morph mixer. It's over here. We're only going to find one endomorph, which is the one we created. That is called folding, and I'm going to move my time slider to frame number 5, and I'm going to add a keyframe over there, and by frame 20 I want it to be around 70%. Let's make sure tension is set to 1, and that will be perfect. So I'm going to simulate the cloth once again, and I'll see you back here once it's done. Okay, so my simulation is done. Let's check on how it looks, and wow, now it does look like a curtain. I do like it very much, but I don't want this video. I just want one of these frames, so I'm going to pick the last frame, and I'm going to save this as a transformed object. So I'm going to save this as a curtain folded. Alright, so I'm going to open that new object in modeler for a final step, and so open up your brand new model in modeler, and I'll see you there in a second. Alright, so we are in modeler, and I quite like the way it's looking. Now the only thing left to do is to add some thickness to it, because it's still a flat surface. So let's go to multiply, and use thicken. So I'm going to open the numeric tab, and I'm just going to add 1 millimeter thickness. And that's it. We are done. So I hope this was useful to all of you. Let me know if you have any type of questions regarding this topic, and I hope to see you guys in the next tutorial. So take care and see you next time.